Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to another episode of the State of the Game for the Division. And it is, what is this, September the 15th, 2017. Now, in this episode, there is a lot to talk about. The two main talking points that are going to be in this video are going to be resistance, which is a PvE horde mode type thing. And then there is also going to be the changes and additions that are being put into the Darkzone for Rogue 2.0, as it is being called. Now, to be honest with you guys, there's so much stuff in this video that they kind of rushed to get through that it was really hard to even think about cutting a lot of the stuff. Some of it was just really important. So what I decided to do to make it easy was to put some timestamps down in the description, and in those timestamps you're going to find these kinds of questions that you as a player may have, and then when you click on the timestamp it'll take you basically to the answer to that question. So it's not really me just copying whatever they had and throwing it up there and pretending like I did something. I actually did do something, and I went through this entire content and made some questions and made some timestamps for you guys, and then took out a bunch of the stuff that wasn't really all that important, or I could mention separately, and I'll do that after Petter, who comes back, makes his announcements for what is going on with the game in the upcoming weeks. So it has a lot of dates and times for stuff that is really important for you guys, including the date for the 1.8 PTS, the Global Events 2 release date, and the patch 1.7.1, which fixes RPM. So let's go.
First of all, free weekend on PC this weekend, starting tonight at 7 p.m. CEST, so in about 1.5 hours. Get your friends to play. Hey, please. 1.7.1 is coming on Tuesday for all platforms, which means a fix for the RPM glitch. It's still a bannable offense. Don't do it. We did another ban wave. We're going to ban more people, so don't use the RPM glitch. I've told you now like 15 times. Don't do it. It will also fix the really annoying sniper rifle yamming issue we've had. So that's going to be fixed on Tuesday as well. And as part of the lag investigation, we found a whole bunch of desync issues between the client and the server. We're fixing those, or a bunch of them, on Tuesday as well, just so you know. Global Event 2 Assault is going to start on October 3rd. And the PTS for update 1.8 is coming on September 26th. For all platforms. If you were already invited to the 1.7 PTS, don't worry about it. You're set, you're done. You will only have to download a patch for it. If not, we're going to send out more invites. We're also looking at alternative ways to get the invites out to you. And the selection criteria, though, we're still looking at that and kind of fine-tuning it and still discussing it. So we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, the September 26th, you'll be able to try Resistance, Rogue 2.0, and skirmish, and give us all the feedback that you have before we go live at some point in the future.
All right, so that is it in terms of the news and the dates that are coming for the 1.8 PTS, the Global Event 2, and also the patch 1.7.1. So I hope you guys are excited for those things. I'm looking forward to some of these changes coming pretty soon in 1.8. Is going to be a good chunk of content for us to dig our teeth into. Let's hope that it brings in some new players, and hopefully some people will check out the game that's going to be free this weekend and see if it's kind of a good fit for them. And we'll see if the player base grows, and maybe hopefully we'll get some more content along the way. So with all of that being said, why don't we get into what is being called resistance. The resistance is the PvE horde mode type thing. So without further ado, I'll let you guys check this out. Remember, you can look at the questions down in the comment section, see if you find something relevant or pertinent to your interests, and then you can click on it and find out exactly what is the answer to that question. And if you want to just watch the entire thing and then see everything that they say, then you can definitely go ahead and check that out. Remember, I did cut out some things just for the length of the video. You can always watch the entirety of this live stream on their Twitch. So if you want to, go ahead and check that out.
Yes, it is truly infinite.
All right.
There's a series of difficulty points the player will move through, which you can talk about, Keith, but we get to the point where you go through all that, and then we begin to buff the AI, through a combination of toughness, DPS, and
Exotic ammo.
Yeah.
Are there any checkpoints in this? So is it one life to live, start again type thing, or?
It's all about the group wipe and keeping each other alive, or if you're a solo player, the one life to live scenario, right? It's all about starting from the beginning and kind of building up a strategy to survive into later waves.
You go through the hard difficulty AI, right? Then you go through the challenging AI,
Yep.
right? And so you're working through those. And if you die, on challenging, then okay, you're going to do the hard one again. But
it's about going through those waves. You'll get really proficient at it, and then making better decisions early in the early game to help you survive when you hit those legendary and what we're calling endless difficulty.
you'll need it.
Because you will need it. Yep.
Awesome. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but I want to show people what this is about. So we've got a video that Peter's going to queue up in just a second. Can we take a look at that now? Would be awesome. Okay, here we go. We are looking at a part of the map that people may be familiar with if they tuned in last week. This is part of the West Side Pier environment, correct? What are we seeing on screen right now?
This is outside the Intrepid.
Okay.
And yeah, you have seen this before. We didn't want to necessarily show you everything just yet.
All
A
right.
lot of this mode is about exploring and opening up new parts. You will catch some things here, though. If you kind of look around, you'll see like these big flashing AR panels. Those are kind of calling out doors that you can use to open up new parts of the map. So
That have new
you'll see
things
one.
in them.
Yeah, those will have all sorts of new things for you to find, new places to fight, places to hold up.
All right. So it's not just about killing endless waves of AI. What other things will people find themselves doing in there?
I mean, it's about finding the best way to survive. That's the crux of it. We give you a lot of tools. Keith, go for it.
Sure. So, people who played Last Stand will see that AI are dropping shade tech here, just like they do in Last Stand. But we've really blown out what you can spend it on. So we've brought back the fortifications along with a new type. There's a support station fortification you can open up. But we've also expanded the functionality of them. So now you can repair and upgrade your fortifications. So over the life of a session, you can dump more shade tech into these and take them, kind of level them up alongside you, and they'll start getting special buffs, like the turrets will start lighting AI on fire. The pulse will start giving you increased crit chance, things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but after you upgrade, though, you have to pay attention to these things, because if they get destroyed, which they will, you have to start that upgrade process again.
Yeah, so it's, once again, it's about making hard choices. Where do you want to hold up? What will help your teams build diversity? What helps you push further into later waves?
Yeah.
Awesome. We've got a little bit more of this video to go. They're looking at a boss wave right now. I saw another wave in there as well, which was, I think, a critical wave. How do those differ from the regular ones?
Yeah, so there's a number of these special waves, and there's some cadence to this. So you'll start to sort of get familiar, but then there's a lot of kind of a little bit of randomness to keep you on your toes. Okay. So every 5 waves, you'll hit a boss wave, and that's how it's going to go up on the PTS, and we'll keep iterating based on feedback. But every 5 waves, you hit this boss wave. The bosses drop loot like they do in the open world, but it's also kind of like a milestone for you. So when you beat the boss wave, you'll see here, that's kind of a little mini mission complete. So you can never truly win this mode, but there are these moments where it's like, we did it. We pushed further than we've ever got before, and you're rewarded for that.
Right.
So is it fair to say that... Sorry, you go.
Oh, no. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, is it fair to say that while there are no life checkpoints, there's kind of loot checkpoints? Is that loot that you get from the bosses safe?
Yeah, the loot that you get from the bosses, those are the in-world drops are all personal to each player, but you're also going to get, like you just saw there, the direct-to-inventory rewards, and he got a resistance cache tier 1. So as you climb higher waves, you can go to tier 2, tier 3, all the way up to tier 5, and once you hit those tier 5, that's basically your best chance to get classified drops and exotic drops pretty much anywhere in the game. But it's going to be hard to hit those higher waves.
Awesome.
I think it's also worth noting that the bosses in boss waves, there can be multiple bosses that spawn. And as we've mentioned before on, I think, various sources, you're going to see bosses from main missions that spawn. They'll have a chance to, Pharaoh will roll in there with his homies, and
That's awesome.
Luray will be there, and they'll drop their loot. So you'll have an opportunity to get these things that I just never have the opportunity to seemingly get, even though I've farmed Luray a billion times.
So you talked a little about 2 weeks ago when we talked, the dynamic spawner that you guys are introducing for Westside Piers. Is that one of the things that you guys are leveraging? And one of the concerns that I think people have when they're doing this type of random content, is it random every time? So for example, am I going to be playing it, and then when I do wave 4 again, is it going to be the same wave 4 as I had last time, or is it going to be the same that I'll have recognized, or how is that spawner working behind the scenes?
So we want to put a bit of predictability in it. So, on repeat sessions, you can start anticipating things. So like early on in the early waves, there's more predictability, right? That say wave 3 is going to be your first critical objective. And wave 5 is going to be a boss. And wave 6 might be the wave that always introduces drones. You're going to fight a lot of drones in that wave. So there's these kind of milestones that you'll start to pick up on and make sessions feel familiar. But within that, there's still a bit of randomness. And then once you get higher and higher and start climbing into the higher endless waves, then it becomes a very kind of dynamic, randomized experience.
Okay.
Yeah, we've injected some consistency, but like you said, we leveraged that new spawner to make it so the next time you play through, yeah, there's going to be differences. You might not see any Rikers, for example, or it might just be all rushers. Good luck, have fun. So there's a lot of dynamic elements to this game mode for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so just moving on to the play spaces that are available for this mode. We've seen one of them, which people had seen previously. How many are there, and how big are they going to be?
3. There's 3
Okay.
total. They're called, there's the Carrier, right? And then we have one called the Pier 93, and another one called the Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are based upon sort of the foundations of, we built on the foundations of the PvP maps that we made specifically. So they're in Westside Piers, but they're like 5 times bigger than the PvP maps.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to explore.
So say like on what you guys saw there, that Pier Space is one of the early sections that you unlock in the Carrier map, but you can also get inside the Intrepid, get into the engine rooms, things like that.
Yep.
So that is it for Resistance. Resistance looks pretty exciting. I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to work for the PvE community. Hoping that this will tide them over until some more story-based substantial content shows up. I guess we'll have to wait and see if that does really hold up. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are excited for this new Horde mode. If you're excited, let me know in the comment section. What are you most excited for with the Horde mode, and what is it that you are looking forward to about it? I'm really curious to know, is it the loot? Is it going to be the bosses, the endless challenge, coordinating with your teams, just trying to hold out and survive those tense moments? Horde modes can be a lot of fun, so I'm hoping that they do it right, and I hope that it does come out well. So now let's get into Rogue 2.0, the new changes that are coming with the Division in terms of its PvP and the Darkzone.
So you guys dropped a bit of a bomb with Rogue 2.0 being a thing last week. All that we know is that there will not be friendly fire, and you will have to perform an action to go rogue, but it goes a lot deeper than that. What are the things that you're trying to accomplish with a feature change like this?
Well, the first and foremost, is keep the tension of the Darkzone, right?
Yes.
It's a very important element of the Darkzone. It's scary, and we didn't want to erase that tension. So that was number one. Job number one is keep the tension in the Darkzone. Second one was get rid of some of the frustration that goes along with accidental rogue, not fun, accidental rogue. And the third one was create a better gameplay loop for Manhunt, which is such a big part of going rogue, right? That's where you're supposed to get the biggest rewards, and really incentivize that system on both sides of the Manhunt.
Yeah.
So those are the three things we were going after.
I saw a thread on Reddit earlier today about someone who was a little bit frustrated with someone just coming up behind them and downing them straight away. So
Right.
there are some mechanics in there that might make that a little bit, you know, you get like a small warning when someone goes rogue
Yeah.
in your vicinity. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an immediate, you know, tap and now someone's rogue and they can shoot you. There's a bit of a press and hold, interact to that. And, you know, we're kind of dialing it in, like Terry said, to kind of keep the tension high, but give you a little bit of fair warning. So, you know, Isaac will come in and tell you a player near you just went rogue.
Okay.
You will kind of hear all the sound effects going along with them. And if they're in your line of sight, you see kind of a full kind of UI treatment pass on, oh my gosh, that person in front of me is going rogue right now and they're going to shoot me in the face.
Okay.
It gives you a moment to prepare.
Yeah. And instead of right now, your moment to prepare is I lost a third of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear with everyone. This isn't, as an example, this isn't WoW PvP flagging. This isn't like you in a zone and you're toggling a thing saying, hi,
Yeah.
I would like to PvP. Would you like to PvP?
I would also like to PvP.
How about you raise your PvP flag and then we can fight? No, this is, I'm toggling, I'm making a choice to go rogue. And once I do, I don't care about anyone else. I will, you know, all the rest of the stuff stays the same.
It's about declaring your intent. You know?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So it's not I have it on and I can PvP with other people that have it on and you don't have it on. It's just we're giving you 1 second to be aware that someone around you. We're giving you more signs and feedback that someone around you is going rogue, but you still have to keep your eyes open. You still need to pay attention.
To toggle on rogue, do you press up on the D-pad? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, it's a
All right.
press and hold, yes.
Cool.
Up on the D-pad, and I think PC is Shift R by default, but you can map it to whatever you want.
We are running around the dark zone as it happens. Okay, so this is going to be this first part again, like I said before, is going to be familiar to a lot of people, and we'll get into what happens after that. So our group's just gone rogue.
Yeah, you have a moment now also to say, you get a message, someone in your group has gone rogue. Do you want to? You can now leave the group. If you're like, no, F that, I don't want to
I'm
go
outta here.
rogue, I'm leaving.
Okay.
So you have that option.
Yeah, we hope this makes people do more pickup groups
Yep.
in the Dark Zone.
That's cool. It'll be very interesting to see. All right. So are either of you guys playing in this session here?
No, we're...
right.
We would be much better than this.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, let's just be honest.
All right. Shots
Yeah.
fired. About how big is the radius in which players who aren't rogue can see that someone is going rogue?
So it's kind of line of sight.
Okay.
So if someone is 100 meters down the street and they start going rogue, you are given a heads up on that.
Okay. So what would happen if I was like around the other side of the building? Are people going to see?
If you're around the other side of the building, you can try to conceal yourself a little bit, but they're still going to get the Isaac telling them someone went rogue. They're going to get all the existing signs and feedback, and they're also going to hear the audio treatment to, hey, someone's going rogue around me right now.
Okay. So our players are currently Manhunt rank 5 now.
Oh,
so
snap.
Chad has already noticed there was no timer on the Manhunt. What's
Oh, eyeballs.
talk us through this one a little bit.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, what we wanted to get rid of the, I'm just going to run out my timer, right? It's not about that. Now it's about going manhunt and then increasing your rank. You can stay manhunt as long as you want. If you get to max manhunt rank,
Which is Manhunt 5. They just hit it right here.
yeah, then, at any time that you become manhunt, I'm jumping around a little bit, but just because of the video, when you reach manhunt, you're going to get an objective.
Yep.
And it's like, if you want your rewards, you need to go to this spot in the dark zone. It's random every time, and you need to interact to clear your status. You're essentially rebooting.
Yeah, you're hacking into those shade tech terminals that were sprinkled around the Dark Zone and resetting yourself.
Right. And so that timer, the duration of the timer, that's still all things we're playing with. But
Yep.
It's based on numerous factors, like how many people are in your group, what manhunt rank are you, and
Yep.
it's about the people in the world trying to stop you from clearing your status at this particular location.
Because what's really important is that, before you, as a non-rogue, you would open up your mega map, you would see the flashes of rogues nearby. If someone got pretty close to you, maybe you'd get a notification on the mission tracker. Now, if someone hits manhunt, you get almost like an objective to go stop them if you want, right? You're not told exactly where they're going, but you kind of get a general area that they're trying to head. So if you're in a group and you're like wanting to hunt rogues, you can kind of rally up and go try to stop them. And it kind of creates these clashes. And like we're talking about in the beginning, creates actual loops for players in the Darkzone.
Yeah, we're not forcing you to clear your manhunt. There's no timer to fail it. You know, you don't have to get up there in 2 minutes. It's just, hey, here's where you need to go, and everyone can see it. And if you want the rewards, I'm sure you guys saw on the screen, like manhunt caches, which are
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah, you get one manhunt cache for every manhunt rank that you have reached.
That's good. What can players expect from those caches?
The best. I mean, it's the gear that they want. You know, it's a gear cache. There's a chance for exotic.
There's a
Hopefully,
chance,
you know,
a chance for classifieds.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. And as a player, you know, going after the manhunt, you get a bounty cache now too for every manhunt player you kill. So you are encouraged to like get in there and PvP at these points if you want to get those rewards.
Awesome. So who will be eligible for those rewards? Like if I see a bunch of people on the map have gone manhunt, right?
Yeah.
How much involvement do I need to have in taking out those guys before I get rewarded?
Participation.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be participating, and you need to kind of be around them when they go down.
Okay.
You need to be there for the kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to be the guy that killed them. You just have to be participating in their demise.
Okay. I don't
Yep.
need to be in a group with the group that successfully takes them out?
No, there's no more that, you know, this group kind of stole the bounty from this group, even though they were trying to work together.
Okay.
You know, now that friendly fire's off, it's Shades versus Rogue, and you can go in there and work together to try to take out the manhunt.
And it's all direct inventory, so you don't have to worry about extracting or anything like that. It's
Yep.
just boom, you got it.
So on the body blocking thing, I know people in the Darkzone right now, you can have a situation where I die and I clear my rogue, and then I come back to my group who is rogue, and then I can kind of stand in front of my group and make things a
Yeah.
little bit funky.
Right.
What does 1.8 mean for things like that?
Well, I think that's going to go the way of the dodo for a
Okay.
couple of reasons. First, okay, so friendly fire, that's gone. So if someone were to be able to stand in front, you could just shoot them all day. It used to be the risk was, oh, I went rogue, and now they're going to kill me, right? So that's gone on one hand. And on the other hand, we're adding essentially a radius. So imagine that you, Keith, and Petter and I, we're all in a group, and let's just say Keith dies, because not me.
Yeah,
Right.
never.
And Keith dies, he's rogue, you know, we're all rogue, we're being jerk faces. Keith spawns back to the checkpoint, and then he runs back to the group. What's going to happen now is he's going to get within a certain radius, and that's still being tuned. He's going to instantly go rogue. So he can't be non-rogue when he gets near his buddies.
Yeah.
He's going to go rogue
Okay.
in that radius, and that works the same for the manhunt stuff. Kind of for the inverse reason, but just when you get near your group that you're messing around with, you're going to go rogue.
Is there any reason to go above 5 kills while you're on a manhunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a reward standpoint, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at this point, right? You get, once you go 5,
Yep.
right? However you get 5, okay, that's going to be your max.
Okay.
So if you're looking to be efficient, yep, after you get manhunt rank 5, go clear it. You know.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's State of the Game. I hope you guys found this informative. There is a lot going on, and again, there's a lot of stuff that I cut out just for the time's sake or the length of this video. I knew that there was a lot of really important stuff, but all of the major things were kind of taken care of. There's a couple things that I think should be talked about. There are going to be 4 new exotic weapons that are coming. They will be in the loot pool for the rogue caches, and they will be in for the resistance caches as well. Solo players can play resistance, and the map size for resistance is like 5 times larger than the skirmish PvP map. So there's a lot going on. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's State of the Game. As always, I am Khan, Mr. So Real. Catch you guys in the next one.